I mean, to be fair, I feel like a normal person would show this kind of concern, even if you know, the person they're helping is kind of like a fugitive or whatever. I mean, she's a very attractive fugitive that makes me very jealous about my own personal appearance. But anyway. Yo, what's up guys, I'm Grandmaster Shaymin and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a third episode of Sweet Fantasy Escape from the Princess. And I am absolutely loving this game so far. Oh, I didn't even notice I was just so infatuated with the roses and her hair and her eyes. She looks absolutely amazing that I didn't even notice her skirt was up in the air. But where we left off last time, we got some very inappropriate scenes that I had to censor. Right now, I kind of plan on censoring them in kind of some sort of humorous fashion. So hopefully that actually worked out like I planned it to. But we allowed the witch into our house with the offer of a magical stone that's basically going to help us perform magic. But the main character's still a bit skeptical. Not to mention, the witch is a lesbian. And so, obviously, the main character's a little bit awkward around her now that she knows that she swings her way. Which, honestly, is completely understandable because, I mean, if you think about it, when a man, especially a man that you just met, and obviously you being a girl in this case, a man you just met is, like, in your house, you're just gonna feel awkward about it. Especially because men are usually attracted to women. About, what is the percentage? 95% of people in the world are straight? I think it's something like that. It's a really high number. Maybe it's 90, I don't know. I don't know the exact percentage, but it's a really high percentage nonetheless. But either way, the main character's super awkward about it, and the girl was just bathing naked in the house. But I gotta say, look at this scene. Look at all the dishes perfectly put together. As soon as I open the door, I sense that something's wrong. Something very wrong. Is this my house? Yeah. So I believe we went to sleep? Did we go to sleep? I don't remember. Hell, I can't recognize a thing. I don't remember the kitchen ever being so clean. What the hell was she doing while I was gone? Shocked, I look around. The witch is nowhere to be seen, and the kitchen is sparkling clean. Hurrying to the table, I peek under it. Drat, even my rejection letters are gone. Did she throw away everything I spent over a year collecting? Where the hell is she anyway? Did she just clean and run off? I start searching it for the scoundrel, but there's no one in the kitchen. Is she upstairs? I call her by name, but no one answers. Did she really leave? But why? I'm about to climb the stairs and search the bedroom when I hear a suspicious creak behind me. Turning sharply, I find myself nose to nose with the witch. That would be so creepy. Yo, look at the apron! Oh, I love it. They put the apron on over the thing. I absolutely adore the character designs. I want to know who made the character art for this, because I just want to give a shout out to them personally. Because, damn. Like, the character art is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Blimey, you scared me half to death. I know that's the main character, but now that she said blimey, the main character's got to be British too. Well, that's gonna make it hard. Blimey, you scared me half to death. Are you trying to give me a heart attack? I noticed the closet door behind Zara is open. Were you hiding in the closet? Damn it, she's gonna drive me mad. Well, I figured I don't know you all that well, and what if you brought the guards back with you? So, I decided... Oh, right, she cleaned up. We just went to the market. Okay. I just played this... The last episode was yesterday, and I completely, forgot what we just did. So, I decided to take a few precautions. The guards? Who do you think I am? Besides, we made a deal. You're gonna help me become a mage. I wouldn't trade my dream for all the money in the world. Well, some people would. In any case, I'm glad you're not one of them. I think you need to explain to me what exactly is going on here. I gesture to my newly cleaned kitchen. How did you manage all of this? With the help of a little magic. I mean, what do you think? I just felt that eating of food in such uncleanly place was a bad idea. Besides, the cockroaches. However, I only had enough time to clean the kitchen. You'll have to help me upstairs. Help you? Clean? Oh no. I can deal with you cleaning the kitchen without my permission. But help you? Where is my alchemy apron? And what, pray tell, did you do with my roaches? Feeling something furry, I toss the basket of pastries onto the table. Fury? Shit, wait. Seething with fury. Okay, I don't know what I was reading. That's what I get for leaving a stranger unattended in my home. Yeah, got a few minutes and everything's fucking clean. Goddamn strangers. Jeez. How horrible can you be to clean someone else's house without their permission? Shame. To think I trusted. I like Zara a lot. Still incensed, I continue to study the kitchen. The room is clean, no dirty dishes, no food residue, no layers of dust. Even the air is fresh, and the tablecloth no longer looks like a death shroud. Well now. Okay, so it could be worse. I turned back to Zara, who'd been grinning as she watched me take in her handiwork. Don't look at me like that, as if you expect me to thank you. Oh, I don't actually expect it. What else am I supposed to do in this tiny hovel? Cleaning is the only fun thing I can think of. I hope my voice is still picking up. It looks like it's not picking up nearly as much as I want it to. Hey, it's not a hovel. Granted, my house doesn't compare to the palace you come from, but it's not that bad. Suddenly, a loud commotion is heard coming from the street. Zara instantly tenses up, and ignoring me, approaches the window and peeks out. She continues staring at the street for a few moments when I remember seeing the princess in the town square. Oh! Choices! Save game. Well, we should probably tell her. I don't see why there's any reason not to tell her, to be honest with you. Yeah, we should probably tell her about meeting the princess. Perhaps it's best that I inform my new acquaintance of my earlier encounter with the princess. The information might prove valuable to her. Yeah, I mean... You know, I saw something today in the square, or rather, I saw someone. Zara instantly turns to me and gazes questioningly into my eyes. The princess, she had a bunch of soldiers with her. Upon hearing this, the witch visibly cringes. And what were they doing? Tell me everything. Well, they moved through the area on horseback, but for some reason this princess decided to continue on foot once she reached the market square. I try to include as much detail as I can. I did mention that the princess wore a hooded cloak, as if she didn't want to be noticed. Ending my story, expecting a reaction from Zara, I grow quiet. She gazes at me thoughtfully for some time before frowning with a sigh. This is very bad. The princess uses the same kind of magic that I do, and if she's here, she'll surely sense my presence. The fact that the soldiers have already searched your house will only hold them off for so long. Sooner or later, she'll find me here. Well, and if they find you here, they'll throw me into prison for who knows how long. Not to mention, prison garb doesn't suit me at all. I can see the guilt on her face, but she says nothing. Well, yeah, how else would she feel about dragging an innocent bystander into this mess? Zara turns back to the window again, and it suddenly occurs to me that if the princess can sense her presence, then Zara can sense the princess's presence too, and even before me. You use the same magic as the princess, right? Yes, I do. But you don't expect me to tell you about my abilities. It's better that you don't know. Oh, blimey. What's the big deal anyway? That information was noted as classified on the poster, and now the witch is refusing to say anything about it, and no one has mentioned anything about the princess's abilities either. This is getting really frustrating. Although, if the princess were really a necromancer, it'd be quite scandalous for the royal family, who's known for its white mages. I wasn't even asking, although you could tell me, I'm not a stranger anymore, I'm your savior. But I am curious about something else. Didn't you say that the princess can sense your presence? If she can do that, then you can too. A strange expression flashes across Zara's face, one irritation, resentment, and sadness. But the expression disappears so quickly that I question if I had imagined it. I can no longer feel such things. Is that, because her magic is, sealed or whatever they were talking about? You can't, but why not? Zara suddenly grows enraged. That's none of your business. I just can't. That's the end of it. Saying this, she turns back to the window and rests her forehead against the glass. I wanted to chide her about it being dangerous, but decided to stay quiet. In her current state, I might unknowingly hurt her feelings. And then I recalled the poster saying that Zara's abilities were partially sealed by magic. Perhaps that's the reason why the witch can no longer sense the princess's presence. Why didn't that occur to me before? But why did Zara get so upset when I mentioned it? She could have told me that she had been cursed. In fact, she could have been a little nicer to me if she expects to lay low in my house until she can skip town. I look back at my guest. Why do I no longer feel, why do I feel like there's more to her story than she's obviously there's more to her story than she's letting on. She's being very secretive about everything. Zara is still earnestly staring out the window and seems completely absorbed in the thought. I don't know what she's thinking, but she does look very dour. Is this all really a result of her not wanting to be the princess's lover, and there's no other reasons for her sullen mood? To tell you the truth, I'm not sure how much I believe her story. If the princess is into girls, would she really be raising such a fuss over being rejected by one? That's, all very, very good points. Surely there are a great number of ladies in the palace for her to court. I'm sure there's a bunch of very attractive ladies in the palace for her to court as well. And I'm sure they'd probably be willing to court her. So it's very interesting. I wonder if there's something else. Although if the royal family knew about her proclivities, I doubt they'd be very happy about it. Taking another bun from the basket, I dig into it with a great pleasure. The witch doesn't seem very eager to join me, however. If she continues on like this, she'll have to settle for leftovers. Feeling slightly remorseful, I decide to show her some decency. So, are you going to eat or what? Food! Do you need food? If I recall, witches eat the same things as us mortals, don't they not? Yes, I was just a little distracted. Zara smiles and moves to the table, and I can't help but admire her figure. If a girl is pretty, she'll look spectacular in whatever she's wearing, whether it's a posh dress or simple nightgown. Zara begins to eat, and I notice that she's starting to cheer up a little. And why wouldn't she? Fresh buns are perfectly capable of making anyone's life a little bit happier. By the way, why are you so angry about me cleaning? I thought you didn't do it yourself because you're lazy. Is there some other reason? Well, you're not exactly wrong. I can't stand fussing with all of these brushes and rags. It's terribly boring. And why would you want to clean everything if everything will get dirty again sooner or later? It's an exercise in futility, if you ask me. But as to your question, it's just so weird having someone touch your stuff while you're gone, especially without asking. I'm used to handling everything myself when it comes to my house, so... Zara stares off into space with a dreamy expression on her face as she repeats my words. Handle everything myself. She smiles sadly. Okay, next time I'll ask before sweeping the cobwebs from the corners. In any case, they're a treasured memory for you. Unsuccessfully, I try to hold back a chuckle. I wonder if Zara thinks I'm trying to act like a queen, but the truth is that I'm just not used to having guests. Honestly, I forgot the last time I talked to anyone other than the artifact merchants or members of the Academy Committee. I worked so hard on getting the Academy of Magic that I'd completely forgotten about most of the things, and it turns out it was all for naught. Well, I hope the witch makes good on her promise and I finally get accepted into that stupid academy. I sneak a peek at Zara as she chews her bun with the same wistful look on her face. So many thoughts run through my head right now. I know that my uninvited guest might mean trouble for me, and that I'm risking my head here, but for some reason I still want to help her. I don't know why I doubted her story about the love-struck princess. Probably because I never met a girl who was interested in other girls. The idea seems pretty ridiculous to me. This is interesting. Because, like, okay, so I know, believe it or not, in medieval time, well, actually before medieval times, I don't know when this takes place. If it's like around the 15th century, maybe a little bit later than the 15th century, then, especially if it's in 15th century Europe, then totally understandable. But if it's like, if we're talking like, I mean, based on what how the house looks, I'd probably say it's going to be about 15th century Europe, or yeah, somewhere in the European area. So it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. So in that, I never met a girl who was interested in other girls, and now she knows too. So, I mean, that makes sense. If you're completely caught up in this, like, that's the other thing, is, like, even in our society, like, we're becoming better at it, but, like, in their society, they didn't even teach people that, you know, love could happen in different ways, and even like, it being considered bad, it still just wasn't talked about at all. So, just meeting someone who was actually into that kind of thing, you know, is a rarity. But now it's become a lot more common just because people feel more comfortable with, you know, expressing who they are. Because at this time, I guarantee you there was a lot of gay people who didn't know they were gay because not only had they never met anyone who was gay, but they couldn't talk about it, they couldn't understand what the concept even is. But now it's like becoming more accepted, so people feel a little bit more comfortable coming out and being who they really are. And that's the only reason why you're seeing more of it. It's not like people are just jumping on a fad. It's the same thing like with people liking sugar, right? People like when sugar was imported into the east, into the west, into Europe. You know, at first it was a delicacy. Nobody could really have it. There were very, very rare people who could actually obtain sugar, and then once people got sugar and started liking sugar, it became kind of like taboo until it became eventually more accessible into the powerhouse that it is today. So, I mean, it's kind of like a similar thing to just liking anything in general. Like, no one knew that they liked sugar before sugar existed, but if they had been introduced to sugar, then they would have liked sugar. But there's going to be people that don't. I mean, there's not a lot of people that don't, but there were probably going to be people that don't, especially back then when sugar was kind of like still a relatively new thing. So it's kind of like a similar thing. She probably doesn't even know. Like, I feel like the main character is probably either bi or gay, and she doesn't even know that she is until she gets exposed to the idea. Because, I mean, if the idea never arises, you don't even know that it exists. Although, why not? Plus, I personally saw the princess today, and she was clearly searching for someone, and she almost never leaves the palace. But now, I'd like to know how long this Eastern witch expects to stay in my home, and how I could possibly help her. Just what am I going to do with you now? Zara stops chewing her bud and looks at me. Have you come up with a plan to escape? If you keep stalling for time, the guards are going to find you sooner or later, and we'll both be in trouble. Zara almost inaudibly sighs, then turns away. I just need to get past the town walls unnoticed. Surely, all the town's exits are being guarded now. I need to find a way to sneak past. So? What do you mean, so? So what then? You sneak past the guards and then what? Do you have a plan for after? Where are you going to live? What will you do next? Are you going to settle in a nearby town, or are you going to head back to your homeland? If Zara is thinking about escaping the kingdom, traveling by ship would be more convenient and safe option. We just want to be as far away from here as possible. You vowed to help me, and I promised to tell you where the medallion is, that's all. So you don't have a plan. Are you at least familiar with the area? See, I mean, to be fair, I feel like a normal person would show this kind of concern. Even if they're you know, the person they're helping is kind of like a fugitive or whatever. I mean, she's a very attractive fugitive that makes me very jealous about my own personal appearance, but, anyway. I rarely step foot outside the palace. Well, good luck to you then. I'm now positive she won't escape capture. Zara will surely be apprehended not long after she leaves the town walls. I suspect she may be one of the princess's personal maids, which is why she's been in the palace all that time. I wonder how this witch wormed her way into Princess Elise's personal entourage. Maybe she's a daughter of some bigwig bureaucrat from the east. Maybe a governor's? I heard that the, Padishah love sending their bastards to far-off lands, even other kingdoms. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense also. So, like, the king has an illegitimate daughter, and so in order to hide her, they're just like, here, other kingdom, you have this person. She's totally just random stranger, definitely 100% random stranger, definitely 100% random. I've heard that I've just read that. Maybe this is one of those cases. It seems my guess maybe has a bit of royalty in her. The way she moves, her manner of speech, even the way she tilts her head as she listens. Even though Zara tries to act low-born, she was clearly brought up well, and it gives her away. I wonder if she'll tell me more about herself if I asked. Ooh. More choices. I like choices. Alright, ask her about the princess, ask her about her past, tell Zara about yourself. So, maybe we should tell Zara about ourselves first. And then, maybe, she'll be easier to open up to. And then I remember the medallion Zara promised for my help. Do you really think that the Ramallah medallion will help me? It's just that I have no talent for magic at all, and every magic relic I wield is absolutely uncontrollable for me. Zara looks at me quizzically. Honestly, why do you want magic powers so badly? Truthfully, magic isn't as fun as most people think. What kind of question is that? Why would I want magic? Because it's my dream. Ever since I was a child, I dreamt of becoming a mage, and I was determined to make that dream come true. Yes, well, that's all well and good, but why do you need it? Well, I hesitate a little. It's not like I have nothing to say, but under Zara's watchful eye, I suddenly feel like she's the teacher and I'm the student here. Well, mages are respectable. They're special, unlike common folk like me. They can do all sorts of amazing things. And that's all. Well, of course not. Zara silently spins a teaspoon in her hand while she's studying me. Tell me, if you had magical powers, what would you use them for? To tell you the truth, I never really thought about it, but now that the question's been posed to me, I realize I desperately need to know that myself. If I were a mage, I'd be able to do something that would benefit our kingdom, or at the very least, this town. And I'd create useful things. Perhaps I'd be a battle mage, if I could control elemental magic, that is. Then I'd help fight our enemies and become a hero. And if I could heal, I could treat the sick and wounded. Or perhaps I could study great mysteries of the universe. It all depends on what kind of magic I'd have. And to do all that, you need to become a mage. Well, of course, it's not like I could do it all without magic. If I had the ability to wield magic, then I'm sure I know exactly what I need to do. As it stands, I have no idea what I was born for, and it's very tiring not knowing your purpose in life. Zara smiles. But if you were born without magic abilities, then perhaps your purpose is to choose your own path. The type of magic one is attuned to greatly limits that individual choice, thus preventing them from choosing their own abilities. You don't understand. I need magic. If I become a witch like you, I'm sure that I'll be able to make the world a better place to make others happier. Thoughtfully, Zara rubs her chin and looks at me straight in the eye. It almost seems as if she's attempting to hide a sadness within them. Please understand, magic doesn't only lead to glory and respect. It can also harm others and destroy. It can even hurt those who wield it, especially if one uses it without considering the consequences. The witch heaves a heavy sigh. Is she talking about herself? Well, I'd be very careful. Yes, I can get angry sometimes, but I'd never do anything to hurt anyone. That's certainly condemnable. Commendable, sorry. Although nothing is stopping you from saying whatever you want. Hey, you don't believe me? I'm really very level-headed, by the way. Apparently I said that too passionately because Zara bursts into laughter. Yes, I see that. No, I'm serious. So what about the medallion? It can help me, right? What type of abilities does it give? Well, that all depends on you. Then Zara turns back to the window, ending the conversation. Okay. Let's see about her past, if she'll open up now. You know, I've always been intrigued by the stories I've heard from the Eastern Kingdoms. And not just the tales told by merchants. Since I have a real Eastern witch in my house right now, I don't want to miss the chance. Tell me something about your homeland. How was it living there? Zara seems confused by my question, but did I say something wrong? Is it so odd to ask someone about their homeland? Well, there's a desert, lots of sand, and a little water. Then Zara stops as if she has nothing else to say. That's it. There has to be more than just sand. Maybe she's from Egypt. Oh, I hear the palace of Padishah is made of pure gold, and if you look upon it at noon, you can go blind from how brightly it shines beneath the sun. Is that true? Of course not. If that were true, everyone in Muratana would be blind. I sigh with disappointment. I really wanted to believe that there was a huge pile of gold somewhere that could make you go blind just by looking at it. Damn it! Me too. You ruined my dreams! Even if a pile was shaped into a palace. Whatever, what else is there? Once while I was at the port, I saw merchants selling birds from Muratana, and that was so bright and colorful. Do they really live there, right in the desert? Zara frowns. The conversation seems to be unpleasant for her, and I can't understand why. Listen, I really don't want to talk about Muratana. Why not? It's just that I have memories of a town there. Okay, fine, not a word, I understand. You don't want to talk about your homeland because something happened to you there. Zara averts her eyes and starts twirling a half-eaten muffin in her hand. Yes, indeed, that's exactly why. Now please, let's talk about something else. I shoot the witch's suspicious glance. She said a bit too hastily. My intuition is telling me that there's another reason why Zara wants to avoid talking about Muratana. I continue to quietly stare at my guest for some time. I wonder what the princess saw in her, although why am I even asking? It's not hard to see with her good looks. Or was it something other than her appearance? Zara, what do you know about Princess Elise? The witch stiffens visibly. That depends on what you want to know. Tell me about her. What kind of person is she? It's said here in town that the princess has led a cloistered life, and everyone treats her kindly and gently. But as I now understand, that's simply not the case, or is it? Cloistered life, yes, perhaps, but not of her own free will. Trust me, it wasn't her desire to be locked in that palace most of her life. What's the problem then? I don't seem to recall there being any law that requires the princess being held captive, and she clearly has no interest in men. So the royal family should have no worry if she might compromise herself. And even if she hasn't confessed to liking girls, what's there to fear? Zara sighs. It's not as simple as you think. For the sake of her kingdom, the cousin needs to be prepared to wed anyone. Even her own cousin, if that means her family retains power. I mean, technically we're all cousins, but I mean, first cousin, I assume she means first cousin. Moreover, according to the law of the land, the crowned princess may only become queen after marriage. But if the princess prefers women, persuading her to wed becomes a much more difficult task, an impossible one. And her opinion on that matter is irrelevant. I mean, not really, because it depends on what you call a marriage, right? Because they could have, like, an open marriage, and she could just fuck women and then not actually have to worry too much about the guy. But they could be, like, wed, I guess. And the guy would obviously have mistresses, because the guy has mistresses, like, all throughout freaking history, because men are just given all the rights and power, I guess. I mean, I guess it's because she's a woman, maybe? I don't know. Even though the wedding has yet to be announced, a date has been set. The ceremony must take place within a week's time, and Princess Elise will be crowned immediately after. So I wonder why though. Like the king and queen, are they like dying? Are they going out of power? Like, I had no idea. The princess is unable to find her true love because she's being forced to marry a man she can never love. That's really sad. But there's no reason for the witch to be this upset, and besides, there would be no way for them to continue their affair after the wedding. I mean, that's not necessarily true. Or does the princess have some other plan? So, is the royal family aware of the princess's preferences? Did they lock her in the palace because of it? I think they may have an idea, but there's another reason they've locked her away. Another reason? What is it? I can tell you. And anyway, I don't know it either. Fine. At least tell me why she's looking for you. Why would she be allowed to leave the palace right now? If the royal family is suspicious of her, they might already suspect that the two of you are lovers. Zara flinches as if I had just said something unpleasant. Look, can we talk about something else? Why? Did I say something wrong? I just want to know why the princess is searching for you despite the fact that she's to wed soon. I mean, that's a fair question to ask. I mean, it seems kind of like, I don't know, weird. Because, I mean, why would the royal family let her go and search for this witch? So did the royal family truly not mind that the crown princess is behaving so strangely? How would I know? She hastily turns away from me, almost as if she were afraid that I read into something on her face. Very suspicious. What if the whole princess story is a lie? What if Zara wasn't her lover and the princess really isn't a jealous stalker? What if Zara stole something valuable from her and now she's hiding? Are you going to eat that gingerbread? Zara points toward the basket with sweets. No, I'm full. Good. Zara then grabs the gingerbread and stuffs it in her mouth. What a clever way of avoiding the conversation. She can't speak with her mouth full, now can she? It's unlikely that the witch will share any more than that, so I decide to leave her alone. We finish eating lunch quietly while Zara awkwardly breaks the silence. Thank you for the food. Everything was very tasty. The food was bought with your money, so I should be thanking you, not the other way around. Zara smiles faintly. I wonder where I'll sleep. I think about having to share my bed with the witch and instantly blush. Well, I can set you up on the bedroom floor. On the floor? Zara's voice is tinged with surprise. It's obvious she hadn't considered that scenario. Perhaps there's another option. One that doesn't involve the floor. Look, if I let you sleep in my bed, then I'll be the one sleeping on the floor, and I really don't enjoy sleeping on the floor. It's hard and cold, and there's... It's hard, it's cold, there's cockroaches. Oh, I was just gonna have you sleep on the floor. Zara looks at me horrified, and I've realized I've said too much. You want me to sleep with the cockroaches? I'm not saying that I want you to, but there's only enough room. There's only room enough in my bed for one of us. If you're afraid that I'll touch you, I swear I wasn't even thinking of it. No, well, I'm not so sure. I'll give you more money. Deal. Get that dough. Plus, you totally want it. Rosetta totally wants it. You know, she wants that Zara. Anyway. But there's one condition. You need to sleep on your half of the bed and not an inch closer. Okay. Look at me. Allowing someone to sleep with me for a little bit of money. How corrupt. Although I could indeed use that money. Besides, I feel like a little guilty sending Zara to sleep with the cockroaches. I mean, the cockroaches could crawl up into the bed, you know. They're pretty intense creatures. How nice. It's decided then. Come, let's tidy up your bedroom. Zara grabs my hand and begins to drag me up the stairs. Hey, that wasn't part of the deal. If you really want to clean, do it yourself. I have other things to do. The witch abruptly stops and spins around, and I almost bump right into her. What things? Stuff. I'll find something. I already found you something to do, cleaning up that pigsty in your room. I didn't ask you, you know. Ignoring my cries, Zara drags me up the stairs. Bursting into my room, Zara immediately scrunches her face in displeasure. But I think it's quite cozy in here. This is so disgusting. How do you even sleep in here? Alright, well, that's about it for this episode. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you click that thumbs up button down below for me, because you already know your support is greatly appreciated. Make sure you go back and check out all the other episodes and other visual novels that I have completed here on the channel. And if you guys have any suggestions on visual novels that you want to see me play, especially good ones that are low value or even free, make sure you comment in the comment section down below. Let me know your... How about you let me know your favorite visual novel? That would be a great thing to have. But thank you guys so much. Make sure you click that thumbs up button down below for me, and also hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And we'll see you all in the next episode.